All right, well, here we are. G'day there. Beautiful outback scene. The mountains going on and on forever. Large canvas, buckets of oil paint, the whole works and jerks. Cannot wait to get started for this one. Beautiful conditions, no wind, clear skies, coming into the evening. Fantastic stuff, let's get into it. All right, now I've just quickly measured some blue lines here, evenly across, so I get a nice level horizon. Okay, now I know that I'm right there. Where do I want to place my major tree? Just here, I reckon. Let's just have a look what I'm going to do here. Yeah. Something like that. Just blocking a few shapes. I want that to be there. There. I want that one about there. And then drift off down like so. Just feeling the composition at the moment, not getting too exact. So that'll be that. That'll be that. That's that. Just blocking in with a knife and a little bit of phthalo blue. Okay. I can be there like that, the edge of the range. Goes there. Alright, so we've pretty much, whoop, got magenta on the end of my finger, pretty much got the feeling of what I want of the major structures. Alright, so there's a bit of a range here. I might just lighten it a bit with a bit of white. Bit of a range going there. And then these ones in here, like so. Alright, well that's the basic shape. I feel like I've kind of got what I want. I'll just stand back and have a quick look. Right. Right. Okay, now this road, there's going to be a bit of a road leading us in where I'm standing. Let's have a look. We'll shoot in about here. Comes across like so. Just looks like random marks, and they are actually random marks. Just feel them away. A bit of a shadow cast through there. Alright, so that'll be that way. Bit of a dark shadow there from the tree. There's a little bit of a creek line running through here, so I'll just put a bit of a shadow mark in there where it's going to be. Alright, now the shadows on the hills themselves are only just starting to form. They're going to kick in as time goes on. What I might do, start to get them more established now. I'll put the shadows in first and then I'll work all the light back over it. That's quite often a good way to do it. So let's go for some magenta, Viridian green, phthalo blue, bit of white to lighten the value. I'm trying to knock the intensity of the saturation down a bit. Viridian green and magenta will knock phthalo blue down. Don't want it to be too strong, just want it to be about the right chromatic saturation. Let's just have a look. Stick that in. Right, that'll be there. Feeling those shadows in. Just lighten the values a bit more white. Paint's starting to fly, which is a good sign. Lighten it, maybe cool it off a little bit more green as it sends it back. A bit more white to lighten the value as it goes back even further. I've sort of got that value now. A bit of burnt sienna. I just want to kill it off a little bit and darken the value. Magenta, burnt sienna, blue. Just over here, it's a little bit grey because we're looking a little bit more into the light, which greys off the value. Lighten that tonal value just a little bit. It's a bit dark. Feel that. Like so. A bit more white again. Magentas, blues. Stick that one in. Alright, it's got a lot of the shadows of the mountain range. Let me just stand back and see what's happening, eh? Alright, that's kind of right. Let's go for some darkest darks now. We'll go for some alizarin crimson, viridian green, make a beautiful dark. Right at the base of this tree is going to be some darks. What have we got here? There'll be a few dark bushes just here. Putting the darks in first and then I'll go over them. We've got the viridian green and alizarin crimson, lovely red. It's always good to get the darkest darks in. And then go over them. That's good. Burnt sienna. Just feeling it as I go. There's some shadows cast across the road. I can see that. That's going to happen. A bit more here to hold that side of the picture up. Alright, now I might just start putting the sky, and I've got to anticipate what's going on with the sky because at the moment it's a certain colour, but as the next half hour goes on, it's going to change. So I'll make an educated guess that there's going to be a bit more burnt sienna in it than there is right now. And then as time goes on, it should change more like that. And what I'll do is I'll fine tune it as it gets closer to that actual time. Whatever I've got, I'll see if it's right. If it's not quite right, I'll just tweak it. Burnt sienna and white. Put some in. Try not to touch the blue yet, because otherwise we'll get a mucky patch. We don't want that. Just keep it separated for now, and I'll bring them in together in a minute, or later on anyway. Right. See what happened there? I just accidentally put a bit of the dark and now it's in the sky. It's a lot harder to get rid of it. Alright. Go up a layer. I'm going to go for yellow ochre, plenty of yellow ochre in these sorts of skies. Evening skies always have plenty of that yellow ochre colour. Stick it in. Whoop, a bit more white in that. this here for now. Throw the paint on. Throw it on. Now it may look a bit random, like these are not the colours of the sky, like I was saying, but in a minute we'll start looking a little bit more like it. What have we got there? Gonna put some shadows in there. Just got to remember that tree. It'll look a bit more like it when I start putting the next layers on. Just got to leave some patches. Let's go for a few of these blues. Drag some of that blue with the yellow ochre. So we've got the white, yellow ochre. It's making a lovely pale greeny colour because it's got the blue in it as well. A bit more white to lighten the value. Let's just get that paint on, we can't really muck around, we haven't got much time. Big fleeting moment like this. That goes on. Plenty of paint. Alright, let me just have a look. Not too bad. White, go up a level, blue. Slightly more magenta. And the browns, just want to knock it back a bit but go slightly darker. What is this? Bit of burnt sienna and a bit of magenta. Trying to knock the chromatic saturation of that blue down a little so it's not too fake. Right, let's get the coverage. I'm leaving bits there because that's going to be where the tree is. Pull them together a little. Lovely. Keep blending, blending. It's a good workout. Let me just have a look. All very good. A bit more blue. Here comes a whole mob of sheep. We're on a station here, property with cattle and sheep. Alright, so magenta. A bit more white to lighten that. A bit more burnt sienna to knock it back a bit. So it's a bit darker. A little bit more red. But still I've been keying it down a little bit with burnt siennas and stuff, so it's not the pure intensity of colour it could be if I just went straight colour. Okay, starting to run out. I was a bit stingy there, a bit more magentas, burnt siennas, blue obviously, white, blue, a bit more magenta, a bit more magenta, yeah, a bit more magenta. Here we go. A bit more white to lighten that value. You know, I've added so much other colours. Let's good. She's slightly keyed down so it's not too lolly. I want it to be realistic, but I want it to be colourful at the same time. And when you work on site, it seems to give you the perfect blend of that. Because you're standing here in front of nature and you can see what's going on, can't you? Pull that down and across. Might get the brush out in a minute and just bring it all together. This is getting the paint on nicely. Just wipe that clean. Getting the paint on nicely, but the brush will blend it much quicker. I'll do a bit of blending now. Pulling that green into that ochre, pulling the ochre up. Okay, hang on. Pull those together. Bring them all together. Bring that up. Lovely. Right, brush. Okay, what do we got here? The brush. Bring the paint down closer. Still not touching yet, because I know what'll happen if I do. That's that there. Drops into there. It's there. There, right. Now start blending all this. Blend, blend, blend. Pull those colours together. Random marks. Blend them in. Gonna need a little bit more yellow ochre and white. We've got a bit more yellow ochre up in here. Let's have a look. Nice. A bit more yellow ochre through there. Blend that. Fairly big brush, but it feels so blooming small compared to the size of this painting. I could have even gotten a larger one. But we're getting there. Keep thrashing that paint around. Random marks. Look, the paint's flying. Up to the edges nice and neat. Random marks. Alright, what do we got here? Let's go for some burnt sienna and blue. I want to knock up a little bit of green with that. I want to knock up a shadowed colour. There's a creek. Go a bit of red to knock off that chromatic saturation. Bit of a creek line through here. Where's that going? Over there. Choofs along. Burnt sienna, phthalo blue, Viridian green. What colour is it actually? There's a bit of yellow ochre in that. Throw some yellow ochre. I'm trying to mix up the shadow foliage on the tree. That'll be in here. Burnt sienna, Viridian green, bit of yellow ochre. Gonna have to get some more Viridian green. Okay, Viridian green. Mix it with some of those blues, bit of yellow ochre. Throwing in some of the shadows now of these bushes. Yep. Bit more magenta in that as it goes back. Throwing in the shadows and then I'll put the light source on the top. Viridian green, magenta. What kind of shadow? Right. Burnt sienna, change tack here. Magenta, white, burnt sienna. It's going to knock in a bit of shadow colour of the foreground. The shadow's going to creep across very quickly. Let's just put those shadows in. We'll put the light on top in a minute. Burnt siennas, magentas. Alright, I'm working with the darkest darks and working my way up. So, magenta, burnt sienna. I'm painting the shadow version first. Burnt sienna, magenta, burnt sienna. What have we got here? Just trying to get a coverage like I was saying. Got to get rid of all that white. Let me have a look. Alright, white, yellow ochre, some of those sky blues, more yellow ochre, a lot more yellow ochre, more yellow ochre. Let me just see what we've got here. Just a little bit more sky blue in that. And a bit of magenta to knock it back. I'm trying to get that salt bushy colour. Start thrashing some paint on. Put it in. Well, more yellow ochre. That's going good. Let's keep on going. Yellow ochre, a little bit of cat orange. Really want a bright poppy colour. Some of those sky blues are sitting there. Yellow ochre, cat orange, a bit of those sky blues. Bit more sky blues thrown in. Yellow ochre. More yellow ochre, cat orange. that paint on. Just looks like big blobs at the moment. Hopefully we'll do something about that. A bit more white and yellow ochre. Some of those grass tussocks. I'm putting the light source over, you can see. Alright, let's put some of the light source. Mix up some burnt siennas and white magentas, a few little greens here with a bit more magenta to knock it back. Let's just see what we've got here. Half mix it with the green and burnt sienna. Okay, hang on. Magenta, red, burnt sienna. Grey it off a little. It's about right, yeah, it's getting better. So that's magenta, burnt siennas. Right through. Got to work so quickly because it's just a fleeting moment. A little bit more greens. Up in here. More of the greens through here. Oop. White, green, red. Red, burnt sienna, white for the light source of the rock surface itself. White. As it goes back further, I'll add a little bit more magenta. Burnt sienna and white. Let's have a look. It'll play out like this. They're beautiful hills, repetition with variation. They just go on and on. They're absolutely lovely. Let me have a look at that. We're getting there, a bit more burnt sienna, and we'll go for a bit of red, a bit of blue to knock it back a bit. Yep. Something along those lines. Light and shadow. A bit more blue to knock it back, key it off. It gets greyer as we're looking across over here. Because we're looking more into the light, so it loses its chromatic saturation there. A little bit greener through here, a bit more foliage on the hill. Okay, what do we got here? Blue, white, magenta, a bit of green to knock it back. Just want to finish off what's going on here. Right, a bit more blue to darken the value, magenta to knock it back, green and magenta to knock it back. kill the chromatic saturation a little. What fun, the shadows are starting to kick in now, so I can really put them on. Go for some more of a green, yellow ochres, just a bit more of a foliage colour through here. That's right. Just going to go for a little bit of cad orange now, just intensify the whole scene. There's a few light parts licking around just here where it's brighter. So you want to stick that on because that'll really make it sting and pop. A bit more cad and white. White to lighten the value. Yeah, nice. Cad, white. Sticking them in nicely as they're just little accents on top of it, they're really popping. So, I'm kicking around here. Starting to go together. Let me just pull this down a little closer now, so we've got less of the white touching this area. Gonna have to mix up another brew of that. We'll go for some white, burnt sienna. What value have I got here? Yep. Right. Whoop. Keep that clean. Burnt sienna. Bring that down. All that across, just trying to get rid of all those little white bits. Now the sky's not quite at this colour, it's still not quite this colour, but it's getting closer as time goes on. Whoops, maybe get a bit of dark brown thrown in there, who knows. Alright, let's mix up some of this foreground, white, cad orange, bit of yellow ochre maybe, yellow ochre. Let me just have a look. Just needs a bit more intensity. Yellow ochre and cad orange, a bit less white. Get the paint on. Cad orange, white, yellow ochre. Just going to mix up some intermediate colours, a bit of magenta, a bit of orange, a bit of yellow ochre. It's just a slightly more of a purpley sort of colour. Seems to me that we're getting a bit of that colour as the sun's getting lower and hitting. It's kind of almost getting some purples in the sand. So I'll stick a bit of that in. Clean knife. Just going to pull through a little bit, revealing some of the sky, blending. Clean knife, softening and blending. Wipe it clean. Wipe it clean. Trying to get the structure of the foliage up there. Alright, let's get some white, bit of yellow ochre, bit of cad yellow maybe. Yellow ochre, white. Putting some of the grasses in again. Right. Pull that through. And there we go, just blending some of this paint together. Always so much to do, just got to keep on working around. Let's get some white, some of the light values. Knife on edge. Yellows, white. Beautiful. Put in the sunlight version. Of the tree. Go for some white. Cad yellow. Out in the middle of nowhere I can hear a jet plane going past overhead. How about that? White, cad yellow. Reeling it in where it needs to go. Just got to keep on working around the picture. Constantly bringing things up all around. Put that down there. Get some white, magenta, green. Yeah, white, pretty and green, magenta to knock it back a bit. Keep on keeping on. There's no time to take a breather because it just keeps on changing. It's a fleeting moment we're working with here. We've just got to keep on going. Some of these lighter versions in here. Just keep on picking it out. As the shadows are kicking in, I can see what we're getting here. We're getting bits of shadows. I'm taking the paint off, revealing it back to the shadow. That's why I like to put the shadow in the first place. Because now I can take paint off with the knife and get that beautiful effect of sunlight and shadow. Like so. Nice shadow there. Little one here. Maybe one there going that way. Lovely. Just constantly taking paint off. I haven't changed what I'm doing. I'm still doing the same thing. Because I can see the shadows really forming now. Build that up to there. And down to there. Right, here we go. Magenta, blue. Let me just see what we got here. A bit more brown in the mix. Start with that for now. Pull that across. Lovely shadows going across. Just here. More burnt sienna. Got a feel where the shadows are going to be. Viridian green, blue. Do I have to work fast or not? Shadows casting there. Yellow ochre, changing tack all the time. Alright, with a brush, just to mix it up a bit, those lovely grasses, bits of grass, yellow ochre, white, these tufts of grass. Keep it clean. White, might use a bit of straight cat as well to get a real sting. Really giving the feeling of grass. Keep on going now, go for some darks here. Use some red and some brown. Got to pull up some of the shadow versions of this gum tree. Nice one edge. Cads, white, bit of yellow maybe. Cad yellow, white, lighten that value right up. Keep on going. Cads, white, some lovely little accents of pure orange and yellow. Flicking in here. Little bits and pieces. Another one there. It's a bit more magenta over here because you're looking more into the light. It loses its intensity of saturation. That's the beauty about working on site. It's so much easier. When you're looking that way, the orange dies. It's not as strong, so stick it in more like that. Get some of these darkish browny colours again. Pick out some shadows as well as the light source on this road, so you can almost see. You can see the tyre marks of the cars where they've been scuffing along. Well, if you come together, we've just got to keep on working. Ain't got time to talk much. Just keep on going. Nice on edge. White. And cad yellow. White and cad yellow. Little fine lines. The finer you give the line now, the more you'll give the illusion of detail. Wipe it clean. Take here and go for the shadow version. Burnt siennas, magentas. Alizarin crimson, anything that'll make a dark sort of value. we'll go with. Keep on working around, white, bit of yellow. A little keynote there to bring your eye in, or some pure colours. Maybe a little bit of one here too. So, draw your eyes in. A bit more out here maybe. Okay. Some of the lighter values. Got to be careful what's going on here. Definitely got the big impression, it's going great. I've kind of anticipated what's happening, the sky's starting to become more like my sky. Just got to be careful what I do, you know. Clean up some of those edges. White cads. Flicks here and there. Alright, well, I'm going to leave it at that because I've really caught the big impression. Now, if there's anything else I need to do, I've got everything. It's best to just do it at home. If I need a little bit more refinement, just a slight touch here and there, better to do it at home than overwork it and mess it up now. I really feel like I've captured that beautiful range in the afternoon light. If I go any further, everything's going to go into shadow in this foreground and I'll lose all that. So just leave that. Beautiful subtle colours. A nice play of light as it starts off here and gradually recedes as the range goes further and further off into the distance. Beautiful gradation in the sky. Pretty happy with that. Enjoying the road here running through with the light and shadow. The play of light and shadow on the foliage, little upward flicks with the brush for the grass. Just a suggestion of the tree with shapes and forms. On the whole, pretty happy with what's going on. Let's get that camera off now, come buzzing right in. You guys can have a look and see what you think. All right.